I'm coming for all of you. Right now, there's a 15-year-old sophomore in high school who has no idea they're studying nursing just so they can wipe my ass in 17 years. I'm 50 and single. That's a fantastic combination. I'm going to spend my golden years dating a handful of spit and a jug of Astroglide.
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. I'm still trying to get the hang of how close to be to the microphone. Close? This is close. And then I go back here and I think I'm normal. You'd think after 10 fucking years I would have an idea of exactly where to put my fucking mouth, right? Wouldn't you think that would be something that would have on the list? That would be top of the things I'd learned in 10 goddamn years, exactly where to put my mouth when it comes to the microphone. So you can hear me. Because, I mean, if I get this close, because here's the thing. I'm more comfortable this close. I absolutely love being this close, but then I feel like you can hear every fucking drop of spit rolling around in my goddamn mouth, and sometimes my stomach joins the party and makes a little noise, and you gotta hear that as well. But if I sit back here, I think I'm okay too, but then I look and the red lines aren't exactly picking me up the way that I thought they should be, and then I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, so then I try to split the difference and come over to here, and this is just fucking dumb. Again, after 10 years, not only would I have this stuff locked down, but I wouldn't bother you with it on the fucking show, right? Wouldn't this be something I'd talk about off the air? Or not off the air. Well, I guess off the air, but I wouldn't talk about it. Who am I going to talk to about it? My neighbors? Hey, come on in. Check out this microphone technique. Check the technique, as our friends Eric B. and Rakim would say. Actually, Rakim would not say it. Only Eric B. would say it. Check that. Eric B. wouldn't say it. Only Rakim would say it. It's a quiz for you guys. Who would say it? Eric B. or Rakim? Of course it would be Rakim. All right, so hi. Here's the deal, folks. I thought I wasn't even going to be able to do this show, which I right now I think is going to be. Look, I'm going to bring you. Because look, here's my life. My life this weekend was driving. I did nothing. I absolutely did nothing. I drove and drove and drove. And unfortunately, a Russian woman didn't punch me this weekend, so I don't have a clever story to bring you. Rory never contacted me after last week's. I was going to say debacle, but bullshit. Last week's show was it was a milestone for this show. No, it wasn't. It was just another fucking show where I shouted out some dude in the car. I was like, I can't wait to listen. And then guess what? Rory doesn't even fucking listen, or at least if he listened, he fucking hated it. He didn't call me. Because that's got to be freaky. You know what? I'm going to work on the other side of it. I'm going to say he actually heard the show and went, this is fucking bananas. Why is there a podcast dedicated to me, a guy who rode in somebody's Uber once? Except last week he was like, oh, this would be so cool. You got a theme song. It's so cool. But now, since I didn't hear from him, fuck that guy. Although now he's probably listening. Now he's mad. I'm sad. I'm sorry, Rory. We even painted you. You're even in the painting last week. And by we, I mean David, who, by the way, is not available this week for artwork. Yeah, that's right. I wound up talking to him. And, usually I got to get to him by Tuesday night. And then he's got a Wednesday deadline where he paints. But he wasn't able to paint this Wednesday because, and here, folks, he's, David is a guy, he's young at heart, certainly, but he's older than me. And he's in good shape. The guy can go out, he boxes. He's been boxing for like 35 years. And by 35, I mean 50 years. He boxed with his kid, when he was a kid with his dad. But now he teaches Val how to box and all that kind of stuff. So he still boxes. He plays softball and he plays center field and he runs like a fucking psychopath. And he's still got an arm on him. And he's very physically fit and he's very active. However, when you do that kind of thing and you're 50, eventually your body's just like, hey, you should fucking stop that, man. Why don't you climb into a recliner for the next 30 years and sleep it off? And that's kind of what's happening to him at this point. And it's not that bad, but he has an impingement in his shoulder. And here's the thing, is he never lets me say this on the phone when we're talking. He's like, oh my God, I got an impingement in my shoulder and I've got to go in and I've got to get it taken care of. Well, the thing is, I also have an impingement in my shoulder. Mine is not nearly as serious as his, but I still would like to commiserate with him and go, hey, dude, guess what? I also have a fucking thing in my shoulder, an impingement. I have an impeachment in my shoulder, and oh my God, I'll tell you what, my shoulder blade is in trouble because the rest of it is just going to impeach him and send him off, and he's going to go and go fuck his daughter like our real president. I don't even want to get into that bullshit. See, that's the thing, is that's one of the reasons why I'm holding off. Like, all I want to do is talk about that motherfucker this week. All I want to do, because I used to do that thing where I'm like, well, if you like him, then that's great. But fuck that. Fuck him. He's awful. He's so awful. He put out that fucking thing where he's like, haha, Russia, I'm going to bomb you at some point, maybe in Syria. You guys shouldn't have been friends with a gas-loving animal. Or I'm just like, what are you doing, you fucking dope? This is the fucking world. It's not a goddamn talk show. It's not let's make a fucking deal. There's not three curtains with one with missiles behind it. You're fuck, what a mess. And people are like, yeah, does that make America great? That we've got a fucking a childhood bully and yeah guy running the fucking joint? No, it doesn't. It makes it terrible. Then he's got these other assholes that he's hired who are looting fucking everything. Scott Pruitt and the EPA. Like, I don't give a fuck about the EPA. I mean, I do. I mean, I think we've already done so much damage to the fucking world that we're all going to drown soon anyway, as I've mentioned. Except for the fact that we're going to drown. Truthfully, I always talk about how when the water runs out, but then I think we're all going to drown because the ice capades are going to melt, folks. I don't know if you know about this. It's terrible. Do not take your children because the ice capades are going to melt and you're going to drown right there in a sea of unused popcorn. Oh, and fucking melted ice. I can't get into that motherfucker. It's just, you know why? Because I don't want to. Because I just want to live a life. I just want to live a life of calm resolve. That's a lie. Anyway, David's got a fucking impingement in his shoulder, and so he has to go to the doctor today, Wednesday, and he's got to get a fucking needle jammed in there, and it's got to fucking, and he won't be able to lift his arm, and he's got to sleep, and it's going to be a whole thing. Whatever. It's a cascading injury, so he's got to put in that, and he's going to have to sleep it off, and so he would not be allowed to paint this week or this. So he approached me and he's like, Mike, here's the deal. I can't paint Wednesday. What if I did a painting on Tuesday? It won't have anything to do with the show, but it'll just be a painting that you can associate with it. And truth be told, I didn't have a show this week anyway, because like I said, I just drove. I didn't do fucking anything at all. And there are things I could go into. I could probably talk about Japan, and I still got that. And there's other things that have happened. I certainly have some other stories on deck. But I just don't. I thought to myself, you know what? This would be a good week because David's got that going on. And look, Gio's going to fucking kill me because he's always like, dude, you can't do fucking rerun shows. You can't because it just destroys the brand. And I don't, do I have a brand to destroy? I don't think I thought my brand was destroying my brand. I thought that was possibly it. But I mean, it's 10, we're in year 10. I'm going to talk on the microphone right now and try to explain to you guys that it's okay to put up a rerun show once every couple of months. Even though I hate doing it, or I hated doing it in the past, but now I kind of feel like, well, you know what? I've got this whole back catalog that I can bring to you guys and you can enjoy it. Certainly, and you would love it. You might not love it, but I'm still going to put it out there. It's just going to be a thing because I feel like that's the deal. That's what I should do. Because again, I had a normal fucking week, and again, my life has become so. But I have other stories to fucking tell. But I mean, I'll be truthfully look, doing the shows where I travel out of the country. Like when I talk about Japan, I will tell you about Japan eventually. But for me, hear that in my stomach because I'm close to the microphone. I don't. It's not my best work to go in and describe Japan alone. The coolest thing is when I get to describe it, and if I had somebody in the fucking room and be like, "Ooh, dude, that's amazing," and then you can kind of talk. But that's my own fucking problem. Again, I don't want to be a child about it, but that's just kind of the way it is. But I'll get to it. But it's like it just like feels like this week I don't have a fucking fastball for you guys. Especially after the past couple of weeks the last 3 shows have been fucking fantastic. So then when I take a week off, what a fucking idiot, right? This guy's the jerk. He's not the jerk, he's a jerk. Although I will tell you this, I've invented the OptiGrab, so I get to retire. This is the last show. Although I hope nobody who hates those cans starts shooting at me. All right, so here's the thing, folks. So David did artwork. He did some new artwork for me that he was able to do on Tuesday. It doesn't match the show, but it's good. But it's right there, and it's beautiful. It's brilliant. It's amazing, because that's the kind of work that David does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit here and tell you guys about some plugs and some things, and then we're going to bring you a show from year 5. That's right. I always like to go with 5 years in the past, and 5 years from around this week. In the past, and I'm cheating a little bit because it's not exactly 5 years, it's 5 years in a week, because I looked at the 2 shows and they're both great, but I in particular wanted to bring you this one because I looked at it, I listened to it, and I was like, you know what, this is goddamn funny, and it made me laugh. But I will tell you this, it also made me go, well, then you should really be doing a fucking show because listen how funny you are. But then there's these moments where I just go, you look how funny you used to be. Oh, dudes, don't live in my fucking head. So I will do this. I will tell you a little bit about our sponsors and people like that, and then we'll get you and we'll nest you directly into a show from the past. And I hope, and you know what? I may be just shamed enough to fucking record another one tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure if I am or I'm not. Bring it on Thursday and put it up on Friday. I don't fucking know. I hate doing it. And again, you guys are all very nice because you'd be like, Mike, come on, man. Everybody needs a mental health week or whatever the fuck. But, taking them every couple of months, that just seems like a fucking chili dip move, right? I mean, it's a fuck. It's a podcast. It's the only real fucking entertainment job I have, but also bringing it, fuck, whatever. You don't care. All right, so these shows happen. Sometimes you get in your own fucking way. Who cares? I have sponsors. Yes, people sponsor this mess of me telling you that I didn't do a fucking show. How terrible is that? We're grateful to them, though, because it's the people over at GetTheButters.com. That's GetTheButters.com. It's our buddy Jerome. He's up in Michigan. He's right. If you look on Poynton, he's right here. And he's up there right now. He's in a stream naked, romping in the cold weather because it gets him inspired to make butters and bombs and balms and lubes and everything else that he fucking brings to you guys, and masks and beard oil and fucking shampoo and conditioner. And by the way, everything that he puts out this week is infused with Smilex. So go ahead and pick up Smilex. You'll get a grin again by using Smilex in all of your products, and that's how they do it at GetTheButters.com. If you use the code 40YOB, you'll save some money, and then I'll get some money, which is kind of neat. So go ahead and pick up something there at GetTheButters.com. Like I said, there's a balm, a lube, masks, beard oil, body lotion, body language. That's right, he's selling the Queen song specifically, only that song, A Body Language. Look at me. I'm not singing like Freddie Mercury. All right. Hold on. Listen. Can you hear that? Freddie Mercury climbing out of his grave to come here and stab me with his mic stand that he carried around like a little cane, and he flipped it around. Boy, I got lost into a YouTube hole like last week, right near the end of last week. And dudes, you find those tracks that are just the vocal tracks. In here, Freddie like doing "Don't Stop Me Now" with like no fucking music, or you hear Killer Queen where it's just him and then Brian May's guitar, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's art. That's goddamn art. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you this: I Ubered a celebrity this week, and then he and I had a nice musical discussion. I shouldn't say his name, but he's a drummer. And he's still active, but he was active in the 80s. So when I pulled up, I knew him. I recognized him. Fuck it, I'll just tell you. I can't tell you because that seems like a client fucking privilege. I'm not a doctor. I just drive one around on TV. Who cares? I met a celebrity drummer, and he was really nice, and he was decrying the fact that nobody writes songs anymore, man. Nobody writes good music. And because I put on Classic Rewind because I knew who he was, and I was hoping a song would play that he had played on so that I could go, hey, I know who you are, like that kind of deal. Like it would be my back door into talking to him about stuff. But I didn't bother him on the ride. We went to LAX, and then when I dropped him off, I told him, I was like, hey, I know who you are, and I had a doorway into that, and he was very nice and a generous man, lovely person, and so that was cool. But still, I drove him, and I don't even know how the fuck I got into that. I was talking about GetTheButters.com, and then I talked about a famous drummer. So anyway, I drove this dude, and it was fine, and he was a nice person. There you go. That's my story for the week. I drove this drummer, and he was nice. But so anyway, music, because I was just talking about Freddie Mercury. He hears stuff in the car, and he's just like, man, he goes, they're just playing like a murderer's row, because they played, Steely Dan and Led Zeppelin and fucking ZZ Top and Van Halen, like they played all this stuff, and it's the Classic Rewind station on Sirius, it's channel 25, and sometimes I like to, I'll just dive into that because it's like, that's just straight up McDonald's, that's just straight up comfort food when you listen to that, because that's what I grew up on. So sometimes I'll just go, you know what, I'm just going to dive into that, fucking relax. And because also they have like channel 27, which is deep tracks. It's the same bands, but it's deeper album cuts, which I like. That's a little more challenging. But then there's the new music, and oh my god, nobody cares about my fucking radio habits. However, that's what it was. So I was thinking, they played Queen, they played people like that, and he was just like, listen to this music. He goes, listen to this. He goes, back then you had to write killer songs to get on the radio because that was the only way to get heard. He goes, now you got a kid in his fucking bedroom, and he's got, 2 spoons and a fucking snare drum and a computer, and he's making music. And I understand that, that type of attitude where you're just like, yeah, man, anybody can put it out. But at the same time, the cool thing is that anybody can put it out. So the gatekeepers have been torn down, and anybody who has any talent can go ahead and reach right out to his audience. Case in point, podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't want to tell this famous drummer person, hey, you know what, dude, if it wasn't for that, I would be dead, because, I got turned down by agents when I got to town, and I only found an audience via the different, the getting right to the audience and cutting through all the red tape. So I understood what he was saying about, artists and the way they write and things like that, but at the same time, I couldn't go, yeah, man, everything's terrible now. As much as I'd want to feel like that, because I'll tell you what, dudes, when you're driving late on Friday and Saturday, first of all, Drake Drake drops a new song, so I got to hear that fucking 6 rides in a row. People are like, hey, you got an aux cord? I do. And then they all played Drake's song, and they all knew that. And you know what? I actually like the song. Again, I got no problem with it. 6 people in a row is a little strong. But when you hear other people, though, that will get in the car, because again, Drake, Future, The Weeknd, all these dudes, Kendrick, I get it. I hear the stuff, and some of it I really like. Some of it I'm just like, yeah, but I also understand the talent there, and I get what they're doing. The problem, though, is when somebody breaks out. Look, dude, Frank Ocean is a fucking genius. Frank Ocean is a genius. But the problem is then Frank Ocean he gets heard, and there's like 87 dudes who go, hey, I could do that. And then they get their SoundCloud all rolling out, and they put out a bunch of stuff that sounds like knockoff Frank Ocean. And then for some reason, they trick these kids into liking it, and those kids get into my car, and they plug in their phone, and I got to hear fucking 6ix9ine and XXXTentacion and fucking, all these other dudes who I'm told are talented. I suppose that they are, but it's just not for me. It's not my thing. But then you hear some stuff, like I told you, I mentioned on here a couple weeks ago songs that some people liked, and then people wrote me back, and they're like, oh my God, dude, thank you for recommending those songs. Because listen, what you want to know is about what a 50-year-old white guy likes. That's exactly what you're thinking. Oh my God, I hope a 50-year-old white guy can tell me about some new rap. That'd be great, because obviously this music is definitely earmarked for him. There is no doubt that Offset goes into the studio and thinks, I hope 50-year-old white Uber driver loves this cut. Here we go. Want to hear it? Here we go. What was the song I heard this week? A guy named G-Eazy. And was it him? Was it G-Eazy or somebody else? I don't know. But the chorus, again, I like Sinister, and he kept going, is it safe? 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 Very Marathon Man, and I dug it. I was like, get a bit safe, get a bit safe. Fuck, I don't remember what the fuck it was. I don't know, but it was great. I loved it. There you go. It must have been great if I'm telling you that I don't remember the fucking name of it. Hilarious. Oh, Get the Butters. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about getthebutters.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you go there, you can get a beard oil and a fucking funky-ass, like, curlers for your hair. And I think he's got a Jerry Curl juice. He's got all of that badass stuff for you guys to pick up over there at getthebutters.com. Use the code 40YOB, and you'll be happy that you did. Absolutely. Who else sponsors this show? Well, I'll tell you what. There's another podcast that sponsors this show. As I've talked about, Fearful Jesuit, who hosts The Paranoid Strain, loves to advertise on this show. He's got I don't know if he loves it, but he does it anyway. He thinks it's helping, so that's all that matters. And as I mentioned last week, and I'll mention for the next 3 weeks, if you go and get episode 7 of The Paranoid Strain right now, it's available in iTunes. If you pick that up, it opens up with yours truly doing a little Alex Jones for you, doing a little different voice kind of thing. And I think I pulled it off. I don't know. Fearful Jesuit seemed to be happy, and other people wrote and said it was kind of close, so I'm happy with that too. Maybe I should have done this week's show as that. Just literally just fucking went calm and then hit myself in the fucking chest during this. All right. Anyway, it's episode 7. It's all about false flags. It's got amazing stuff. I'm featured in it. He talks about, why the Trojan horse might not be a false flag. He talks about, like I said, the Mountain Meadows Massacre, all sorts of amazing things. He talks about Project Artichoke. Look, these are all, and those are real things. That's the funny thing is Alex Jones, he has a bunch of shit that he talks about that is phony. But for real, there was a Mountain Meadows Massacre, and for real, there was a Project Artichoke. Those things really exist. So check them out, please. By all means, go ahead and listen to The Paranoid Strain. You can download it now at iTunes. I believe when you get that, he's got all the information about his Gmail address because he wants you to write him. He wants you to write him and tell him feedback on the show, which is very important. And I say that's very important because it lets him know that you're getting the show through us. Please make sure you mention the 40-year-old boy when you talk to Fearful Jesuit over there at the Paranoid Strain, or when you leave a review in the iTunes store. Mention the 40-year-old boy podcast sent you, and he'll be happy because he knows then that his advertising is working. Even when there's a week where I don't do a real fucking show. I know I'm still in my head about it. I'm angry at myself, and you guys are very nice to thank me, or not to thank me, to fucking forgive me. If you have, perhaps you haven't. Perhaps you've stormed off. Perhaps you've thrown your earbuds to the ground and said, we can't do it. We don't even want to hear what show you've chosen for us, sir. Sir. I backed off before that big sir. You know what? Next week I broadcast live from Big Sur. That's how I make up for this. I go out to Big Sur, I do a fucking broadcast. Me and the guys from Point Break, we knock over a couple of banks. I put on a fucking Millard Fillmore mask. All right, so here's the deal. The Paranoid Strain podcast And also, they got a YouTube channel they want you to subscribe to, please, if you would. It's because they want to get a custom URL. Because listen, folks, only the biggest and the baddest of us get a custom URL. I've worked 10 fucking years in this business, this podcasting business. I've been in comedy for 25 years, 27 years. I've been in comedy for 27 years. I've been doing a podcast for 10, did another podcast for 1. And you know what it got me? A custom URL. That's what it got me, ladies and gentlemen. A fucking custom URL. Well, I'll tell you what, Paranoid Strain. Yeah, if you think you're going to put out 7 fucking episodes in fucking 14 months and then get everybody to go, oh man, this guy deserves a custom URL, you are sorely mistaken, sir. But I will do my best to try to get that for you. So everybody out there who loves it, who loves his show and loves the thought of it, go ahead and listen to the Paranoid Strain, first of all, and you will love it. Second of all, review it in the iTunes store or write him a personal note or both. And like I said, you could possibly have your thing featured on his show. Your voice could be featured on there because, look, if he's just letting me fucking talk on there, maybe anybody gets a crack at that show now. If he's just bored of his own voice, him and the English chick or whatever the fuck, he's like, yeah, nah, I can't do it anymore. I got to bring in some guest voices. Let's get Schmidt fucking on here for 1 minute and 45 seconds and see who else he can fucking drag in with his tractor beam. So please subscribe to the Paranoid Strain via iTunes. Go to the YouTube channel as well and do that. Cool ass thing, and make sure everybody loves it, and you tell your friends and tell everybody, hey, because again, this is another thing. It's a badass show. It's not like I'm just doing it because he stepped up. You know me. You know I don't advertise stuff unless I think it's the fucking something I like or something I think I have interest in. Although that's, I got to be honest, that's horseshit at this point. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, we'll give you a ton of fucking money to say you like Nazis, I gotta consider it at this point at 50 and drifting off. Nah, bullshit. There's enough fucking podcasts out there that love Nazis. I'm sure you can go find them if you look for them. But yeah, if somebody was like, fuck no, I don't want to, again, why talk about debauchery and terrible things? If somebody came out, look, I'm looking for money. That's the bottom line, of course. But at the same time, I have to believe in you and your product. I've made that line in the sand for myself. So I can tell you right now that the guys at GetTheButters.com, because they sent me products and I used them and I enjoyed them. I will tell you that again, Paranoid Strain is a fantastic show. Again, mainly because I hear it and I go, that's not a show that I could do. I don't have any fucking discipline like that. That dude's putting out a show like once every couple of months because he has to work so fucking hard. He actually went on the road to the fucking Pizzagate restaurant. He recorded in there. I mean, dude, I can't even tell you the things that our friend Fearful Jesuit has done in the pursuit of debunking everything in the world that needs to be debunked. Not me. I sit down, I open up a microphone, and I just yammer into it, and then I give you a rerun from 5 years ago, and I call it a day. I call it a show. I call it a week. Even though, again, I'm probably going to shame myself and do something else before the end of the goddamn week. Maybe a Facebook live chat. Maybe I'll do that, because God knows we want to expose our souls to fucking Zuckerberg. I was worried I wasn't even going to do this fucking show this week. I'll tell you that, because I had to update my... I have Mac products, as you know. I have Mac products right here, and here, and here. Guess what those are? That's my Mac products. Like this one, my desktop, and then laptop, and then iPhone. All right. I don't know why I'm hitting them to bring you to their attention. Am I a fucking caveman? Hey, you know what I'm going to do? Here's my Mac products. This is the highest point of technology you could possibly achieve. Here's me punching it. Oh, you like that? Fucking idiot. But I updated it. And it told me it was like, so I had to update my Mac. It had the new operating system, and it did it to prevent a data breach. Because I don't know if you know this. This is in the news now. This is a big deal. Everybody's worried about a data breach. Everybody's worried about your data being sent to somebody else. Facebook, apparently, do you know Facebook? Do you use it? Have you ever been on there? They'll steal your data. And they'll give it to the Russians, I think. I don't fucking know. Do you believe anything anymore? Do you believe anything that you ever hear about anything at all? Yesterday, Trump's he's putting up a tweet about how he's going to lob missiles into Syria. And he's like, get ready, Russia, here come the missiles. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? It's not a game show. This isn't let's make a fucking deal with 1, 2, 3 goddamn curtains and what's behind them. One of them is missiles, one of them's a fucking burrow. You fucking idiot. You fucking hump. And I'm just annoyed with all of it, with both sides. He's a fucking dickbag and he's terrible, and all the guys in his cabinet, and fucking Scott Pruitt at the EPA trying to change his fucking the leather notebook so his name's on it. So it's like literally he's calling it like Scott Pruitt's EPA now. He's branding it with himself. It's just like, man, what the fuck, dude? All of these guys are a mess. Trump's a fucking mess. And there's still people who are like, yay, Trump. Yay, you're awesome. Who the fucks think this guy is awesome? He's sitting in the dark in his fucking boxer shorts watching Fox News with fucking milk running down his chin from cereal. And he's just fucking yelling at the TV. That's what your grandpa does. That's what your uncle does with those fucking sock garters. You know fucking Trump wears those sock garters, right? Those little fucking black things that go up to his goddamn knee. Water. You know he's fucking wearing those goddamn things. Oh my God, imagine that, dude. If there is a fucking sex tape from Russia with the hookers and then they're pissing on the bed or pissing on him or whatever, I just imagine how fucking gross it's gonna be with his fucking lard ass and the fucking sock garters, because he doesn't take off his socks to fuck. There's no way, because he's super rich. A, he can't bend over, and B, he's super rich, so he doesn't think he needs to make the effort. It's like these hookers are going to piss on the bed, he's going to lay in the pool of it, and they're going to climb on and piss on him, and they're just going to climb all over him. When he fucks, he calls it monkey bars, because he just lays there and let the chicks do all the fucking work. He's just the monkey bars in the whole equation. He calls it the Trump terrorist camp. And he lays down and he's like fucking monkey bars, and they got to swing on it and film it. God damn it. What a dumb fuck. Goes to Russia, doesn't think he's getting filmed. I get worried about getting filmed in any fucking hotel I'm at. Anywhere I just, and again, I don't give a if people want to film me jerking off in a Motel 6, good for them. Good for you guys. Make a new copy of 8mm with the machine. Oh, machine. As they fucking try to hunt me down for jerking off in a Motel 6. That's fine. But when you're going to be the president or you're rich or whatever the fuck, don't you think you're putting yourself in a situation where these guys are going to use the tape against you? But again, he's stupid. He doesn't give a fuck. Honestly, he probably thought he was giving them a treat. Like if they were filming him, he's like, oh, well, then they can see how Trump fucked. Because he calls himself Trump. He does. He's like, yeah, then they can see how Trump fucks. They can see how the Donald fucks. And you know how the Donald fucks? Poorly. The Donald fucks with fucking sock garters on. And I'll bet, oh my God, I'll bet this. I'll bet he doesn't even take his fucking boxers off. I'll bet he just pulls out fucking little Trump right through the little guy in the front. He just pulls it out, that little fucking flap. Oh, dude, I hate that thing. Even when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. I was like, why does my underwear have a door? Just slide it off, man. Go friggin' easy. Or just fucking pull it down. But then I get there's people who actually use that little door. It's like, have you ever just fucking hit the head and you're just like, I'm not using the door. It just seems like bad news. At this point, I told you, I wear shorts all the fucking time. I just fucking hike my shorts up and just pull my cock out down the leg of my shorts. Go, all right, let's make this happen. Hi, now you know my pissing technique. Good for you. All right, you're on board. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I'm excited for the Paranoid Strange show to continue. It's only episode 7 now. By episode 15, they'll probably be into destroying the Trump presidency. Because it'll be over at that point, and he'll be able to do the fucking Monday morning quarterback on it and see exactly what the fuck happened and why everybody hated it and why everything went so fucking poorly. So anyway, my computer, here's the laptop, as I mentioned, the iPhone. And then, of course, the desktop. Stupid. They exist, and they warned me. They were like, because, again, a data breach. As we all know, Facebook is stealing all your data. And this week, Mark Zuckerberg had to go and talk to the Congress. He had to go sit there in front of this austere group of senators. And again, dudes, was that fucking another waste of fucking time? I just is why... Like, I'm not on Facebook, like, ever anymore, and I'm not on fucking Twitter. I read Twitter, but I don't post, just because in my head, all of a sudden I had this weird epiphany where I was like, this is free. Like, I'm giving shit away for free. I mean, I know the podcast is free, but it leads to you guys subscribing to Patreon or a bunch of other cool stuff, and I can come see you. But, I mean... Twitter is just, I'm not building a brand there. And again, because I did try. I mean, I was firing away. I would play that like fucking game for Hardwick's fucking game show, whatever the fuck that was, at midnight. I played that show. And then on the debates, I would live tweet and the Oscars and stuff. I would fucking fire stuff off. And nothing caught. I mean, some things did okay. But then you'd see, some person with like 1 million more followers tweet a poorer version of your joke, and everybody's like lauding them. Yes, and it's on the next day on BuzzFeed. Everybody's like, ha, look at this genius. And you're just like, I wrote that an hour before they did. I did, truly. And I guarantee somebody wrote it an hour before me. I mean, it's it's not like I'm the fucking ground zero of genius jokes. I mean, actually, didn't they do Right Here, Right Now? I think they did. Right here, right now. I'm the ground zero of genius jokes. And that's the only place that I want to be. All right, so here's the deal, folks. I got to stop saying here's the deal. It's because there's nobody in this fucking room with me, and that's how I got to reboot. So the technology, as I've mentioned, that's the microphone, but there's the laptop. Oh, it's just in case there'll be a quiz later, boys. Stick around. How the fuck? Didn't I just have I had a thought I was finishing. I was completing. Oh, the data breach. Oh, fucking Zuckerberg. God damn it. So fucking Facebook. I don't go anymore. I just don't, because when I would post jokes or whatever the fuck, it just turned into a thing where everybody tried to top your joke, which is fine, I guess. That's what we're all doing. We're all having fun and playing around. I go to the fan club page. My personal page is just a fucking ghost town. I don't post any jokes because also when they changed the algorithm, like nobody fucking saw them. Like you can look at my old pictures and I was getting like 100 likes and 20 comments, and now I might get like 10 likes and 2 comments or 1 comment. So I convinced myself, I'm like, dude, I've completely run out of steam. Nobody fucking likes this anymore. Nobody likes me. But then Gio's just like, dude, it's the fucking algorithm. It's the same thing with your show. You know, Art19 does this, everybody does this, everybody's got this different fucking algorithm thing rolling. So you can't judge that stuff by that. And I was like, oh, well, I guess that makes sense. But it doesn't matter at the same time. When you see that nobody's engaging with you, you think, well, I'm fucking dead. But then if I don't put a show up or something, then I get people writing me emails going, dude, what the fuck? Or people write me on Twitter, hey, Mike, you're still doing the podcast? And I'm like, which makes me laugh again, because 10 years I've been doing the fucking podcast. I will do one, even though I guess I don't blame you for doubting me, because again, it goes up late sometimes now these days. Because again, I got into this fucking weird thing where I told myself, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody's listening anymore. There's no engagement anymore in the social media. But it's because they changed their algorithm, not because people stopped engaging. Hi, I'm weird. But I will tell myself all that shit all the fucking time. And then Gio's just like, no, dummy. And then he pinches me, which is really not nice. But so there's the deal. So then they're stealing the data, of course, from Facebook. So I stopped going. Well, that's not why I stopped going, but I stopped going for a myriad reasons. For myriad, not a myriad, for myriad reasons. But then I heard about Cambridge Analytica came in and swooped in and stole all the data. So then I signed into Facebook the other day, and sure enough, it said, hey, one of your friends used an app called My Digital Life, and it totally stole all your information for Cambridge Analytica. Sorry. And I'm like, oh, all right. And I don't have a bunch of stuff like this. I'll tell you this. Ever since because I didn't have Messenger on my phone for the longest time. And if you listen to old episodes of this fucking show, I was a late adapter of Twitter. I was just late. I was just like, nah, these aren't going anywhere, because I was a fucking grandfather idiot. And then I got hooked on them, and I was totally into them, and it was great. And now I'm in that same position where I'm just like, I'm kind of burnt out, man. I mean, it's just not, and it's not even like I'm looking for the next best thing. I still want to keep in touch with people and all that stuff. And I love you guys, and I love the Jokers page and all that sort of stuff. And I love people who interact with me on Twitter. It's just this thing where there's just so much fatigue everybody has where they can't do it. Nobody wants to fucking interact here or there or anywhere. I mean, and I get that. It's a weird bananas thing to have. The fact that the world is at your fingertips, and then you just get world fatigue and you don't want to fucking talk to anybody. Has anybody else got that? Where you just think, man, I literally have the world at the touch of 14 keystrokes. And you know what I want to do? I just want to have a peanut butter sandwich and look outside at the sky. That's all I want to fucking do. It's weird. It's like this weird rebellion against whatever technology advancements we've had, because they've been just so fucking perverted by all these other assholes who've come in and stolen them for their own fucking usage. And, Trump and everything else, it's just a fucking mess, man. I can't... I made this thing for 2018 where I was like, I'm not going to read the comments anymore. I'm not going to do this. And I've done pretty good. I mean, I'm weaning myself off a bunch of stuff. Do I still visit a bunch of shit I shouldn't do? Yeah. Am I still looking at my ex's fucking social media? Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of shit I need to fucking wean myself off of. But still, I find myself going much further away from it than I should. And I don't know if any of you guys have the same thing where I'll go sit outside. It's the weirdest thing. I just want to go fucking sit outside. I don't want to be checking that stuff or reading it or getting caught up, and I just, because it just seems like everybody's doing the same fucking thing. And again, I told you, it's both sides. It's the people who are like, Trump is the greatest and he's the fucking best and ha cry your lib turds. But then it's also the other fucking guys who are like, this is the thing that gets him. Like there's some other, Rowan Farrow has another fucking piece out today in the New Yorker or last night, and he's just like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently the Inquirer bought a story from a doorman at Trump Tower, and that guy knew that Trump knocked up a girl in the 80s, and then somehow, and they found out the daughter and where she lives, but she won't go on the record. Whatever. I'm reading it, and all these people are reporting it breathlessly, like this is going to be the thing that gets him out of office. Dudes, we all hate him already. Everybody fucking hates him. Nothing you could dig up could be, unless you've got, like I said, a videotape of him fucking, or of him like fucking diddling kids or some bullshit. There's nothing that's going to get him out. Unless he decides to quit, or they fucking finally piece together as much Russian or corruption bullshit as they possibly can. But none of these sex scandals, are you kidding me? The people who support him, they think it's the fucking best. The second that they find out some story where he railed a porn star and he paid her $130,000, these people have never seen $130,000 in their lives. So they're just like, oh my God, that guy's even more of a hero now, because not only did he fucking rail a porn star, but he had $130,000 laying around to just pay her and fucking tell her to shut the fuck up. Like, do you really think the hardcore supporters of President Trump aren't impressed by the story where he railed a porn star and then told her to shut the fuck up? That's exactly their dream. That's what they wanted. Oh, and not only that, he had $130,000 in petty cash laying around. He threw it at her and just said, "Hey, shut the fuck up," and she did. That's like the dream for these dudes. They live in fucking basements. Their hands are stained with coal dust. They would love to have $130 to give to a woman to tell her to shut up, but they can't and they don't. So they fucking idolize this dude, man. And it's just, and look, I'm only talking about the nuts. I'm not talking, if you voted for him because you just wanted a change or you wanted to upset the status quo or tip over the apple cart, fine. Do I agree with what you did? No. Do I hope that you now look around and go, wow, things are really fucked because of that? I really hope you do. And look, I know I'm just perpetuating it by doing it and talking about it on this fucking show because I tell you, I try to escape. I literally go outside and I stare up at the sky. I just want to make a peanut butter sandwich and have a fucking Sprite and just be like, oh, that's gross. I don't drink Sprite with peanut butter sandwiches. But I have peanut butter sandwiches and I drink water with them, quite frankly. I just get out the murder bread. I fucking make some peanut butter and jelly sandwich and I go out and I'll sit outside. I'll just sit in the breeze. I'll make some eggs. I'll do something, anything at all. Just to keep from having to go and look at the fucking social media and see the garbage that's happening because it's just tearing it all apart. And now here I am telling you about it and you're just like, yay, Mike, thanks for telling us how much you hate social media via social media. Stupid. And I don't mean to be that guy. I truly don't. But it turns out this is who I am right now, in this moment, in this second. Water. So Zuckerberg goes in. He winds up talking to the fucking senators. And, oh, by the way, fuck, my trimmer broke. This is so fucked. My trimmer for my beard has like a comb adjustment on it. You know, you set it on like, I usually use it on a 6 to trim my beard. My fucking, it broke. So I can't like trim my beard evenly. So I'm just kind of lopping off anything that goes astray. Any rogue hair just gets kind of fucking whacked. But now my goatee is coming in thick like my beard was before. And listen. You can hear it there. So I hate it because it's also getting warm out. It's been like 90 degrees in fucking California. But here's the thing. I could just buy a trimmer. Trimmers are $20. That's fine. I can have one. But if I'm going to buy another trimmer, I want to buy a good trimmer. And the best trimmer is this Philips Norelco one blade thing. And I think it's like, it's $100, but sometimes it goes on sale for 70. Or it's 70 and sometimes it goes on sales for 40 or something like, I don't know what the fuck it is. But I've seen it a few times and went, oh, I should grab that. And then, of course, I didn't. And then my fucking trimmer broke. Now, I don't want to drop 20 on a trimmer in the interval and then pay 70 for the other one. I want to get the other one. But right now is probably not the best time for me to buy a trimmer because I have bills. So I'm going to Arizona next week. You know what I mean? Doing that kind of thing. I'll be recording live from the desert next week, folks. That's right. Because that's how I do it. I'm going on the road trip. I'm coming to your town. Yeah, I'm going wherever you want me to be. I'll come to your house and record. I have ideas of other places too. But here's the bad part. Like, I want to invite myself to people's houses to record, and it's so bad. Like, both of these, the trip to fucking Jesuits compound and then this trip to Arizona, I'm like, hey, I could come to your house and record because, again, I was trying to secure A-list on Southwest. I told you all about that. So anyway, the point that I was, fuck the point, fuck the deal, fuck all of those things that I do with as a reset. It's just lazy speaking. It's just wrong. So they're stealing your data, folks, is the point. Even with a beard. Maybe that's why I'm growing the thick beard, is to try to go ahead and be incognito so nobody can check me out, man. I can just kind of sneak in and sneak out with my fucking half a beard. But yeah, so I want to get this fucking trimmer, but I can't yet, but I will. But that's why if you see pictures of me, it's like, nah. And also the gray is strong, man. My gray in my beard, but also, dude, my fucking temples. Because I need a haircut. I need I got to go get my fucking head shaved. But man, oh man, I'll tell you what, those fucking the gray on my head, dude, is like fucking badass. I mean, I kind of like how I look. I'm starting to grow into like a weird kind of a professorial look at this point. I'm starting to feel good about myself. I'm growing into my age. I think I might have mentioned this last week because I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks. All right, so. But then Facebook, like I said, I find out my data's been stolen by Cambridge Analytica ever since I put Messenger. Like I said, I was a late adapter. But then when I put Messenger on my fucking phone, every time I go in there, they're like, hey, Mike, you should add your phone number. You should probably add your phone number. Shouldn't you add your phone number? We need your phone number. Go ahead and put your phone number in. It makes it easier. And then my favorite is the bullshit stories where they're like, you can put your phone number in just in case you forget your password, and it's a 2-lock security system, so then we'll call you or send you a text. I'm like, fuck you, man. You're not calling me. I got news for you. If I forget my Facebook password, I'm no longer using Facebook. It's just not that important to me to install a 3-prong security system to make sure that I can come in and see what happened on this day 4 years ago. I've got a pretty good handle on what happened 4 years ago. I've got a weekly live journal for the last 10 years that tells me what happened 4 fucking years ago. So guess what? But they keep asking. They still ask for my phone number. Hey, even with the data breach, they still want my fucking phone number. It's like, dude, why? What are you going to text me to tell me there was a data breach? Is that what you're going to fucking do? But that's the thing, is people just fucking step up and they give them their information. They don't even think about it. People take those fucking quizzes where it's like, hey, which fucking banana split are you? Are you Flegel? Are you Bingo? Are you Drooper? Are you Snarky? Or are you the one who's given up his information for fucking free? Is that you? You could be that one. You're as empty as the fucking banana split suits when the actors go home at the end of the fucking day because you just gave away your own personal information. Because literally, it's like a 15-question quiz to find out what banana split you are. Stuff like, hey, what's your mom's maiden name? Hey, where'd you go to high school? Hey, what was your first car? Like all that, you got to realize that's all the prompts that they ask you when you're setting up security questions for your bank codes. Cambridge Analytica is not stupid, folks. They go ahead and they use a Trojan banana split. They sneak in. They use a Trojan bingo, and they come in and they fucking do that for you, and they trick you into taking a test, or they do that face swap thing, or all those fucking things, Farmville, all that bullshit. And people still to this day, they'll like request me. Very rarely now. You know what's funny? I went in the other day to my blocked thing because I had to block 2 people on Facebook this week. This is fucking terrible because some woman from Guam asked to become my friend. Now, this show reaches all over the fucking joint. I told you. So if I get fucking befriended by somebody, I had a guy from Syria and a woman from Guam. But the guy from Syria was an American military officer. Maybe I should have talked to him because he might not be there anymore at this point. He might have got a fucking double lung full of chlorine and checked the fuck out. Maybe he was trying to give me some sort of password. But that's the thing, is when I saw an American military guy from Syria writing me, in my head I'm like, am I getting caught up in some weird turmoil? Am I Jason Bourne all of a sudden? Did I not know that somehow I've got put to sleep and I've got a chip in my head that they've got to fucking recover? I don't have any fucking clue. So it's best that I just not be friends with the fucking military guy from Syria. And by the way, he was a fake. Like, if it's just the fucking boots on the ground dude, then that's fine. I'll be friends with that dude because I got no problem with that. But this guy purported to be like a lieutenant colonel or something, and he had actual photos of himself training pilots and things, but there was nothing else on his page, just military stuff. So when he wrote me, because again, when you become friends with them, they can reach out and talk to you. So I became his friend, and he's just kind of like, hey, how are you? I'm like, fine. I said, are you a real person? And he says, yes. Why do you ask? I said, well, because you're from out of the country, and I don't know you, and I'm just wondering how you found me. And he goes, oh, I'm just reaching out on Facebook. And I'm like, well, obviously, I became your friend. And then he wrote, what was it he wrote? So what is your name and where are you from? Now, I accepted your friendship. You can clearly see my page, and there's no secrets on my fucking page. Everything's on there. So I just immediately blocked him because I'm like, well, obviously this is phony. This guy's a fucking phony dude. Some weird fake Syria dude. I'm not going to be friends with that guy. But then the chick from Guam steps up, and literally the same thing happened where she's like, hi, how are you, stud? She didn't call me stud, but I thought maybe she wanted to. And I said, hi, are you a real person? She goes, why are you asking that? I said, because you're from another country. I don't know you. All this different stuff. She said, oh, and assurance back, oh, really? Okay. Well, and I just wrote back and I was like, yes. And she goes, I see. And I was like, done, blocked. You're gone. I don't know who you are. Fuck this cat and mouse nonsense. Fuck this catfish garbage. You're a chick from Guam. If you want friends, be my friend. Don't fucking give me the weird ass third degree side eye from Guam, for fuck's sake. You were almost going to get bombed by the fucking South Koreans, or the North Koreans. The South Koreans might. Who knows? I don't know what any of those fucking. That whole fucking region is tricky. Vietnam could bomb us again for as far as I know. Fucking Thailand could send some people over in a boat. Cambodia. I don't know. Those people everybody's pissed at us. They're mad. Look, everybody's got grudges from the past, and now they all hate Trump. So it's like you take the grudges from the past and you add in fucking Trump. I mean, bad shit can happen all over the fucking place. Vietnam could be like, hey man, we owe you guys. And what better time than fucking when Trump is in office? Because Trump fucking uses all of our kids to make all of his clothing and sell it to everybody. Right? I'm sure there's some section of Vietnam that's just like Trump, Viet Trump, and they just fucking make the kids are making ties all day long and selling garbage ties in the fucking third world. The Baltic states are all buying Trump ties made by fucking Vietnamese kids. What a mess this country is. This whole world. You know what, folks? Make peanut butter sandwiches. That's it. Make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and go outside and look at the sky. Look up. Just in time to see the fucking ICBMs fade into the distance and realize we're all fucking done. And eventually Jason Robards' hair is going to fall out as he walks into the rubble to try to find his wife. And he has to share a can of food with a family. God damn it. I don't know what's happening. I just don't. But I try to divorce myself from it. I try to get away. So then again, the Facebook data breach, and they want me to fucking give more data. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. It's not happening. So I don't use it a lot. I come to the Joker's page and the Attaboy, the Little Schmitty Attaboy Fit Brigade page. But other than that, man, my personal page is just a ghost town because there's no There's no juice there. There's nothing. I try to post stuff and nobody sees it. There's no comments, and I'm like, all right, well, fine. I mean, I still post the show stuff on there just because it seems like I have to. But still, whatever the fuck. Who cares? So then this week, the senators, they call in Facebook because, again, they've installed a fascist government in the United States. It's their fucking fault because of Cambridge Analytica and every other Russian bot farm in the world that Mark Zuckerberg got $1 billion from. That guy, he's worth like $600 billion. That seems high. So all right, let's put it this way. I'm not sure what Zuckerberg's worth. We'll just call it $1 billion, okay? Whatever it's worth, apparently it's not enough for him to have some professional cut his hair because he shows up at the courthouse this week, and it wasn't even like a bowl cut. I wouldn't even call it a bowl cut. It was weird. It was like a bi-level bowl swoosh cut. Like there was 2 levels to his bowl. It looked like he had it might have been a finger bowl cut. That's how tiny that head is. Because that's another thing with this because this is who we are as a people, folks. That guy's worth, just again, conservative estimate, that dude's worth $1 billion. He shows up. He's going to testify in the courtroom. He's going to talk to this austere governing body of senators who have sold their souls and given their balls to Donald Trump. And they're all going to have questions and ask him questions about Facebook. And he comes in and, again, he's even worth $1 billion. These are the senators. This is a big moment. And here's who we are as a society. Mark Zuckerberg is 5'7". 5'7", so they had him sit on a booster seat in front of the fucking senators. They literally had to put a booster seat into his seat so he didn't get swallowed up by the chair. I understand it was for appearances. It's because it's very important that he doesn't look like a fucking shrimp or a little nerd because everybody's thinking about him in those terms anyway. And also common courtesy states that they would probably want him to just be able to reach the microphone in order to hear what the fuck he had to say. But still, again, it makes me laugh that there's senators there who are all greedy cocksuckers, but all rich. He's richer than all of them put together, and yet still as a society, we're all like, ha ha, dummy, booster chair. Like, he was so petrified that we would make fun of how short he is that he still had to use a booster chair, even though he's worth $1 billion. It never fucking ends, folks. It never ends. I don't give a fuck if you get $100 or $1,000 or $1 billion. You're still going to be worried about what people think. You're still going to be neurotic. You're still going to think of the things inside you and just go, fuck yeah, everybody's seeing that. Everybody's thinking that now, aren't they? And no, you're worth $1 billion fucking dollars. You're so powerful, you destroyed this country, basically. You did. Your little fucking thing that you set up to tell you whether or not blondes or brunettes were hotter at school, and then which turned into a birthday machine and then a fucking Farmville empire. You've destroyed an empire. You've destroyed an empire with this fucking tool. You're worth $1 billion, and yet still you have to have a booster seat because you're so insecure that people are going to say things. It was insane to me just to watch it unfold. Where they pulled it out, he sat down. Then there were people taking that shot from the back where you could see him just sitting on. Oh man, it never goes away. It never does. There's never a moment where you can just be peaceful unless you're eating peanut butter and staring at the sky. Jesus Christ. And then he winds up talking to these senators and dudes. Look, I did not watch it live. There was no reason to watch it live because it's just all that point of parliamentary procedure. We thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg, for taking time out of your busy shut the fuck up, guys. Please die in front of all of us so there's some excitement here. Inevitably, they just wind up asking him questions that are generic, basic Facebook questions that we all know. We all know. Everyone literally they're asking him stuff about, just like rudimentary stuff about like what. Then they try to pull always tricky. They think, where did you stay in your hotel last night? Well, no, what hotel did you stay? Would you share that information with us? Well, then why are you taking other people's information? Stop with the tricky bullshit, Dick Durbin. Nobody needs to fucking nail anybody to the wall here. You want to nail them to the wall? Ask them real fucking questions about why this happened and what they're going to do about it. Instead of this dancing around, this fucking Orrin Hatch didn't even know they sold ads on Facebook. And he had this coy look on his face like, good for you, young man. You're selling ads. Like, he acted like Mark Zuckerberg had a fucking summer job delivering newspapers. All those guys, because again, he walks in there bemused. He looks like fucking Haley Joel Osment from AI. He's just like fucking blank. And he walks in, must sit on booster seat, talk to senators. He just looks like that dude. But he also looks like a child. Like you should be wiping his nose for him. He's just that dude. But in reality, he's a fucking billionaire who destroyed this country from the inside out with his goofy ass fucking birthday machine. It's ridiculousness. I'm sound like a ranting old dude. I'm just fucking Howard Beale this week. It's terrible. You know what? Fuck. Holy fuck, really? I might not have to fucking, you know what? I'm not doing a rerun. I've talked enough for you guys this week. You don't want to hear a fucking rerun? And this has been shitty enough on its own. I don't want to fucking ruin an old show from year 5 by attaching it to the start of this wagon. Fuck that. But then he comes in and he talks, and then that fucking interview. And again, like I said, everybody thinks it's going to do something, and those senators don't know how Facebook works, so they're asking these most rudimentary. Just, you know what? Why don't you walk him out to talk to the fucking guys from Anonymous? Have them sitting up there, and they could ask him a bunch of fucking questions about backdoors and, every other. I don't know why my mind went to war games. All right. So, would you like to play a game, Mr. Zuckerberg? Of course you would. What was that? What's the fucking phrase from goddamn backdoors are not secrets? Is that what he says? I think so. Fuck. It's two nerds in war games. Mr. Potato Head, backdoors are not secrets. I hope I got that quote correct. I don't know. I'm old and it's late or early, depending on how you want to look at it. All right. So the point is, folks, as I've mentioned, all these fuck the point and the deal. God damn it. I should just call the show The Point Is. Fuck you, dick. So again, please listen to The Paranoid Strain. It's fantastic. It's a great show, and it's just demanding your attention. So those are our sponsors, the Paranoid Strain and our good friends over there at getthebutters.com. Use our code, please. You can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Did you know that? That still exists. It's still lurking. Are there big changes afoot for it? I hope so. We'll see what happens in the future. But I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that it depends on Max. Again, what if his shoulder falls off? What if the guy can't paint ever again? Then I'm really fucked. Then he better learn to do some left-handed artwork. It'll be a lot more abstract. I'm sure he's still my guy, but it's going to be fucking weird looking. But that's fine. I'm on board. I'm not going to desert this guy in his time of need. Not when there's black steel in the hour of chaos. He and I are looking for the steel. First, we're looking for that fence. All right, so you can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and check out all the stuff that's there. All of it, goddammit. Go to the Joe Business page, folks. As I mentioned, there's still some live stuff available. The yurt shirts are completely gone, but the CD is still available. And like I said, the live stuff, the download sets, if you want them, I don't know if you do or you don't. They're available on the YouTube channel, which I'll tell you about in just a second. But if you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, like I said, folks, we've got all the stuff there that's still for sale. But also, most importantly, there's an Amazon link over there at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Please use the Amazon link to go ahead and purchase things. We get money, they get money, you get stuff. It works out perfectly for everybody and everyone involved. And we really need to give Jeff Bezos some money so when he shows up at his Senate hearing, he's got a booster seat that he paid for made of solid gold. But go ahead, please. Go ahead and go to use the Amazon link. It's very important. Like I said, it helps the show out very much. You get money, or no, you don't get any money. You spend money. We get money, they get money, you get stuff. It works out perfectly, and it costs you nothing, man. You just click through that little transom, that little fucking Stargate, and then you get in there and you flounce around, you buy a bunch of cool-ass Amazon stuff, and we get credit for it. Thank you for thinking of us. So that's at MikeSchmidtComedy.com at the Joe Business page. We got the CD available. We've got download sets and the live download stuff. Remember the Heroes album is there. Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster is also available. And then the Amazon link is very important. Please use the Amazon link as it really and truly helps this show. Remember, we've got the YouTube channel. Who built the YouTube channel? Well, that's our good friend Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. He's available now for you to be his friend at Facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. Go ahead and be his pal, his friend. Thank him for all of his hard work on the YouTube channel. And go ahead and subscribe to his podcasts. He's got the Get It On podcast. He's got the Outdoors FAQ podcast. And he does all the Loveline stuff for Adam Carolla and our good friend Dr. Drew. He and I are so close. I don't know why he's my good friend. But that stuff's available, so go ahead and check all of it out. And again, please be his friend at Facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso at Superfan Gio. Not superfan of me, but super fan of others, certainly. He's the guy you want to fucking be his pal and make him your friend. And he's a powerful ally to have. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but he's probably going to fuck with me. Well, no, he's not, because I'm not doing a rerun. He's always like, dude, you can't do a rerun. If you can't, here's the thing. It just deletes your, or deteriorates your brand. He goes, you just fucking, when you do a show and you feel like doing a rerun, he goes, just, you know what, watch a movie, watch 2 movies, and then come on and review the movie and talk about that. People want to hear that. I'm just like, nobody wants to hear that at all. But good on you, Gio. So you want to, because I'll tell you what, your voice I got in my fucking brain. Because I'm like, I should put up a rerun show. I should fucking do that. And I still can give myself over to doing it, but I kept hearing that you were gonna fucking scold me and tell me it was a shitty thing to do. Because again, I'm destroying my brand. Which honestly I thought destroying my brand was destroying my brand. Did I mention that earlier? I don't know. It seems like I did. All right, so. Go to his Facebook page. Check out our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has a bunch of cool ass stuff on there, and go ahead and be that person who visits. And it's got all these audio tracks, and then it's got some of the older stuff. And is there stuff afoot? Is there stuff on the way in the pipeline? Possibly. I'm hoping to be very visual in the coming months, the coming years, the coming days. That seems weird. Hours. I'll be visual in an hour. Meet me over there now. All right, so please go ahead and check all that stuff out at the YouTube channel. Ryan Dirks is our website guy. You can find him at facebook.com/Ryan Dirks and be his pal. He's a cool guy, and he's got a lot of stuff on his plate in the next coming months. So be his friend. Why wouldn't you do that? And I want to tell you about this. I'm going to be in Cincinnati. Did I mention I was going to be in Cincinnati? I don't think I did. 7/18 at the Clinton Players Theater. Fuck, because you know what? Because I still have the weird ass fucking Liberty Exhibition Hall written down, but I know that I'm not there. I was told otherwise. Hold on, 40-year-old. That's the laptop I had told you about that warned me earlier. Oh, I didn't even fucking finish that yet, did I? Hold on, Cincinnati, ta-da. Yeah, not coming up at all. All right. The point is, there's a ticket link at Brown Paper Tickets. You don't need to look it up, but you'll if you want to buy a ticket. I'm going to be in Cincinnati, July 7th. 2018. Now, again, that same day, I'm running the fucking Warrior Dash Spartan Sprint thing. If you want to run with us during the day, that's cool. It's me, Colette, and I think David Kemp is going to be there to do that. And then buy tickets to the shows, man. As I mentioned already, if you're a Patreon subscriber, which I should tell you about that, there's a Patreon page, folks. If you want to become a supporter of this show, go ahead and join the Patreon page. It makes me very happy to see that new people have signed up this week, like our great friend Michelle Jacobs. Michelle Jacobs has signed up to be a Patreon supporter. Thank you so much. And guess who's back on board, folks? Guess who's now back in the fold? Guess who's our guy, the guy that we love, the man that we loved forever, and has helped me out so many goddamn times. When I went to New York, he came through with the Waldorf. When I went to Atlanta, he came through with whatever the fuck he came through in Atlanta. Who cares? He's the fucking best. David Watson, folks. Oh, David Watson. Bop, shoo, bop. Oh, David Watson. He's the fucking man. David Watson is back, and he is a Patreon supporter, and I truly appreciate that. I love David. He's been around from the beginning. Michelle Jacobs has been around from the beginning as well, too. She saw me in Portland. So thank you for becoming Patreon supporters, man. It fucking really helps out. And I hope this week doesn't deter you and make you cancel your subscriptions because it's one of these shows. But I appreciate you sticking around as much as you did. And if you want to join the Patreon page, please do it. You go to patreon.com, you look up Mike Schmidt or the 40-year-old boy, and you become a Patreon person. And there are levels there, and there's stuff. And look, as I've mentioned to people there, if they want to request certain things from me on those, because I've promised things that have not come through. It's not that I haven't come through. But I've convinced myself that people don't really want them. But I mean, I need to do them, whatever the fuck. I'm reaching out. So the Patreon page is out there. And as I mentioned, if you're in Cincinnati and you are a Patreon subscriber, you're in free. Anybody who's a $10 and up subscriber to Patreon, you're in free to the Cincinnati show. Just contact me and I'll put you on a list, and I'll have that list ready and available for the people when they are ready at the door, whoever works the door that night. I don't know. We got to get tech people and stuff like that. But that's Cincinnati, July 7, 2018 at the Clinton Players Theater, I think, off the top of my fucking head. But I'll Clifton, possibly. I don't know. I'm a really good plugger of stuff. And then I've got other shows coming up that I can't announce yet because I got to get on the same page with other people and figure stuff out. But as soon as I have names and dates, I have dates in a city, but I can't fucking tell you yet because I don't know exactly what's happening. But as soon as I do, probably next week, maybe even in the interval, I'll have an announcement, like a live thing on YouTube or something. That's why you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You subscribe, you become a Joker on the Westside 86 Jokers page, because I might pop in with a live Facebook thing. I might pop in, and if you're a Patreon person, there's live video capability on there now. Although, you know what, I did live videos, and then I don't think they ever posted. Like, I tried to post them when I went and saw Black Panther. I posted a bunch of stuff from the lobby, and look, it could be that nobody wanted to fucking say a word, but as far as I know, I went to the page and I couldn't find them anywhere. So Patreon said, when I first signed up, they were like, hey man, you can cut all these videos. But in reality, I got to cut a video and then edit it and then put it up there, and that's fine. I can do that. It's just a matter of, I thought it would be a plug and play, push button deal, and it's not, but that's fine. Who cares? Just go ahead and join. Be a Patreon person and do that. Come see me in Cincinnati, July 7, 2018. Tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com. Buy tickets and come out and have a good time at that show. If you're a Patreon subscriber for $10 or over, again, you can get in free to said show. You just got to contact me so I can put my name or your name on the list. I don't want to put my name on the list. What if they don't let me in? Excuse me, sir. You're not allowed in here. Remember that I'm on Cameo, which is an app for your phone where you can get me to call up and shout at people. I've had 2 so far. One that I've done and one that I have not done yet. It's still pending. I have to go ahead and record the damn thing, but I will soon. But, because people they'd want things later on. Like I told you last week when someone, very nice people, the Pipkins, they were like, oh my God. It turned out great. So, and then there's a new one now that's on deck, and I got to record that and send that out. And that's also a surprise. Everybody's like, do that. It's a surprise. But that's the Cameo app. You can get it on your phone, or you can check, I think it's Cameo Shoutouts. Google that, and you'll find the website, and you'll see, like I said, me. You got to search my name because there's a bevy of YouTube comedians out there who are competing with me for the Cameo dollar. So please, if you want me to go ahead and tell somebody you know happy birthday, or tell them, to fuck off, or tell them that you're getting a divorce, I'm perfect for all of those things, folks. I've been through all of those things. I've had a birthday, I fucked off, and I've gotten a divorce. So please consider me for your Cameo needs when you want me to go ahead and tell the people bad or good news. I'm happy to do it, and I'm really good at it. And let's tell you about this, folks. Let's tell you about our friend David Mex Hernandez. I don't even know about David. He's hurt. He's all laid up. He's got a bad wing. But it doesn't stop him. It doesn't deter him. He was able to do this week's artwork and just fucking crank that out before he even knew what the show was about. Before I even knew what the show was about. Hey, oh, fuck, I'll tell you that on the way out. Fuck. So David was he's the badass guy who does all the music and the artwork for the show. And I should tell you, he and I have been kind of brainstorming a little bit. And by brainstorming, I mean he had an idea, and I just said yes to a lot of it, and it's I'm excited for it. So it's coming up in the next couple of weeks, probably about 10 weeks, I think. I don't even want to fucking say. I know when it's actually coming up. It's in July. Who cares? You care. Everybody cares. So that's going to be happening. But anyway, David Mex Hernandez. Go to facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez and become his friend on there, and it lets him know that you're part of the show and all that kind of stuff. But also, folks, you can go ahead and find him at artbydmh.com. Yeah, that's right. ARTBYDMH.com. He's the man. You can go on there and check out all of his artwork. He's got Valscapes, he's got Gycons, all this stuff for sale, but also he'll do custom artwork for you if you want him to paint you, paint your friend. You know what? If you want him to say if you want him to say happy birthday and paint fuck off or paint you got a divorce, he'll do all those things. So go to artbydmh.com and commission him to paint happy birthday or you get a divorce or fuck off. He can do all of that on one canvas, as far as I know. I don't know a whole lot about art, but I know what I like, and I like what fucking David does over there at artbydmh.com. But again, facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez is the easy way to find him and become his friend. But when you want to send him money and hire him to do some cool ass stuff, or look at the paintings that he's already got on sale over there, you want to go to artbydmh.com. That's artbydmh.com. And here's what I'll tell you about, folks. I didn't even think I was going to do this show this week. When I did, I knew I was going to do it, but I started to worry because when I sat down to record it, my laptop, not my desktop or my iPhone, but my laptop was saying to me, because I'd had an update. Mac had an update. Again, like I said, the data breach. So they sent me this fucking note, and they're like, we're very concerned about your data here at Apple, and we want to make sure that it hasn't been breached. You want to feel safe. You want to have 9 levels of safe and whatever the fuck. So we need to update our operating system. So I updated the laptop, and everything was fine. I just fucking let it sit there. It took like 45 minutes or whatever the fuck. Well, it said it was going to take 45 minutes. And then, but the thing is, I have a screensaver on, so then it goes dark, and then I turn it back on, and it says another 42 minutes. And I'm like, you fucker. So then I had to sit here. But then, because it didn't go on the screensaver, it said 42 minutes, but then it fucking updated the operating system in like 9 minutes or something. Super fast. Super fast. That's how I do it with a snap. But once it happened, I opened Audacity to record, and it had a little fucking window, and it said, Audacity has not been set up to work with this computer. You will need to contact the software provider. Dudes, I don't even want to open fucking Audacity to talk into it, let alone contact the brainchilds behind Audacity. That's what I want to do. I'm going to get that brain trust on the goddamn phone and go, excuse me, there's a box on my Mac. They're not going to fucking listen to me, right? But I panicked and I closed it out, and then I rebooted the machine, and then it turned back on. I tried to open Audacity again. Same deal. It had the fucking just a box there, and it said Audacity is not set up to work with your Mac. You're going to have to contact the software provider. I'm like, motherfucker, I just can't do this. I have to because I had to do a fucking show for you guys. But at the same time, I'm just thinking to myself, man, there's no fucking way I can do it. I just cannot drag this out in this capacity, because I'm gonna have to talk to them. They're gonna have to back. This happened to me one other time before, where one time when I was with Jill, we did something remotely on her computer, and we actually had to give some guy in India took it over like a drone bot, and he was actually controlling her computer from this off-site location. Because she had a security, one of those Norton or McAfee things, but it wasn't supposed to be there, but it got installed and then it was fucking with her computer, so it had to be taken out and they had to backdoor it in. I don't fucking know. It was just a mess. So I just knew it was going to be something like that. So I fucking turned the machine off and I hid. I did. I ran away from it. I go, I'll deal with that later. And then later on tonight, because I'm recording this, it's Wednesday night late. All right. So I finally turned on the machine and I rebooted it and I opened it up and I clicked Audacity and the fucking square came up and it just said, Audacity is not set up to work with this computer. You will have to contact the software provider. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to call these guys. So I closed that square out and I clicked on the top on Audacity to try to find a phone number or a website or whatever the fuck I had to do. And when I clicked on Audacity, it opened. I mean, it opened. I clicked on Audacity, the little guy who lives down in the bottom of my screen, and that gave me the window that said Audacity is not set up to work with this computer. But when Audacity, in the top bar, I clicked on the word Audacity and I just hit open and it fucking opened. And it was ready to record. And here I am recording for you guys, and I hope to fucking God it lasts, because I'm sitting here talking, and God knows it's bad enough that I just did this kind of show, but if I got to burn this whole fucking thing, I'll be fucking furious. But so all day I hid. I was scared. I was worried. I'm like, oh man, I don't even want to contact Audacity. What the fuck am I going to talk to them about? And I don't even want to produce the fucking show myself. I don't want to stare at the fucking thing, and I don't want to do that. And then sure enough, what happens? I fucking open it up 3 times. No, I can't do it. No, contact them. No, we won't help you. I'm like, motherfucker. And then I finally hit open, and the whole fucking thing opens, and here I am talking to you guys. Now, it's your job to judge whether or not this was worth it. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. It's your job to discuss amongst yourselves whether or not I should have just fried this one or put on the rerun or what the fuck I could have done for you guys. And I mean, I can still do it.
There's nothing lonelier than being trapped inside yourself. It's easier to hide when you pretend yours a knight. Women love a guy with a giant neck.
We here, we are playing on a level that most will never see.